Hey, what's happening everyone? Journeyman here, and welcome to an FM18 simulation video. And I haven't done one of these since FM17, I think. But anyway, I wanted to do this video because I bought a new green screen, as you can see from behind you. I wanted to try it out, wanted to record a video, see what it looks like, and then maybe go from there. Maybe make some changes, things like that to the channel. Try and improve the quality of the channel, just because, you know what, I want to try and invest in it. I want to try and continue growing. But anyway, back to the video at hand. Essentially what I've done is I've downloaded the latest and available updates from FM Inside. That's just after the transfer window closed, which means all these squads are up to date, including those transfer deadline deals. From a Samsung, obviously, we got Danny Ings, as you can see, joining the club. He joined very, very late on. But as an example, so essentially what I've done is I've also disabled the first transfer window budget. So in other words, I'm trying to simulate this as kind of realistic as possible. There could be a few interesting things happen. I want to see how Emery does in his first season at Arsenal. Obviously, it's been a bit up and down first couple of weeks for him. Obviously, Sarri's had a really good start as manager of Chelsea, so it'll be interesting to see if they can challenge Pep Guardiola and Man City. And obviously, Manchester United are a little bit contentious over the last couple of weeks. It'd be interesting to see how FM kind of simulates that relationship and see if Mourinho maybe finally gets a sack. I honestly think it's going to happen in the pretty near future. He seems to have lost the plot, but that's only my personal opinion, obviously. And but yeah, anyway, it's a simulation done in 3 parts. Obviously, the next part will be around about December time. That gives us a gauge on how the season's going. That's not only about the midway point of the season. We could take a look at the form of the teams. And then we'll do one at the end of the January transfer window to see, obviously, if the teams have any moves they've made, managerial or player staff, etc. And then the third part will be the final part, which will be the end of the season. Take a look, see who won the league, who got relegated, top goal scorer, etc., etc. So we're going to do a skip ahead now, and I'll see you guys around about Christmas. All right, so Merry Christmas, everyone. Let's take a look at this league table going into the midway point of the season. So atop the table right now are Manchester United with 41 points. Obviously doing pretty well. Only 2 defeats to them against Watford and Newcastle of all teams. Followed up by Spurs in second, Arsenal third, Man City all the way down in 4th place, 6 points behind league leaders Manchester United. Only 4 defeats to them: Newcastle, Arsenal, Everton, and obviously Spurs. Newcastle United actually a few scalps, as you can see there, but Newcastle currently sitting in 7th place. Everton doing very well for himself in 6th. Chelsea kind of in the Europa League spot there in 5th place. So while Liverpool, they fall down all the way in 11th place there. I wonder if Klopp's been fired. I think Klopp actually has been fired. I want to say yeah, because obviously Klopp has been fired and he's a caretaker manager. So Liverpool yet to hire a permanent manager. Obviously disappointed to be all the way down 11th place there. That's a very, very poor start for the Scousers. At the bottom half of the table, we have Cardiff on 8 points. They look destined for the drop. Southampton not doing that much better here. I think they must have sacked... Yeah, they sacked Mark Hughes. So Kelvin Davis currently is the caretaker manager. Obviously, we're looking for a permanent manager again. Above them, Burnley and Crystal Palace both on 18. Huddersfield on 19. Fulham on 20. So it's still pretty tight down at the bottom there. Southampton and Cardiff looking like they're in big trouble, though. Goals, Harry Kane leads the way. Average rating, Harry Kane is having a good season. Assists, Gundogan, I think that's to pronounce his name. I can never pronounce this guy's name. Leading the assist with 8. De Bruyne was 7 there. But overall, things going very, very well for Jose Mourinho and Manchester United. Take a look at the let's take a look at their selection stats real quick. Top goal scorer for them, obviously Lukaku, 12 goals. Marcus Rashford has 7 coming off the bench. Alexis Sanchez having quietly have a good season there. 6 goals, 5 assists for him. Jesse Lingard doing well too with 5 goals. Also, let's take a quick look here at some of the domestic cup competitions, just out of interest. Let's see, the Carabao Cup, if we can find it. Carabao Cup. All right, so it's down to the semi-final now, where Everton are playing Brighton, Watford are playing Chelsea. Let's see, he's got a European competition, just out of interest there. See how well... Club competition, Europe, international. That's not right, is it? Europe. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I don't really use these menus that often, believe it or not. I mean, how many hours I've actually put in. I don't actually use them. But anyway, so here is the Champions League first knockout round. Any British teams gone through here? Looks like Man United are playing Inter away. Man City are playing Dortmund, and Spurs are away at Benfica. So we're doing pretty good in that competition. 2 goal scores. Anyone leading the way here? Lukaku's got 4 goals. That's about it, to be honest with you. But all right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to simulate to the end of January. We'll see what moves teams have made as far as transfers go, and we'll see if Southampton and Liverpool find a permanent manager to take over. And yeah, we'll take a look at the league table then. I'll see you guys just at the end of January. All right, so here we are at the end of the January transfer window. Let's take a quick look at some of the transfers in and out. So, major transfer of the January transfer obviously was Son. He went to Liverpool for £44 million, potentially rising to £63 million. Jose Guy on the left back moved to Manchester City for 37. A little bit surprising since Mendy is still on the books. Manolas went from Roma to Liverpool. Liverpool heavy spend in there, £31 million signing for them. The centre half, presumably to partner Van Dijk in the middle of the fence. Gulam then moved to Spurs for £31 million. Mertens joined Man United for 26.5. That actually might be a little bit of a steal. He is a superb player. Then Steve Cook, big move for him. Big move for Steve Cook. Jesus, went to Liverpool. Another centre half went to Liverpool here. £26.5 million, 33.5 potentially over time. Pavon joined Arsenal, the winger, for 33.5 million potentially. Mario, yep, the right back went to Chelsea for potentially 26 million. Kolasinac moved from Arsenal to Napoli, the first major sell out of the Premier League. Scott Sinclair joined Southampton for 18 million, potentially rising than 23 million. I believe that is a club record signing there for Southampton. We'll see if he can help keep the Saints in the Premier League. Jorgensen, the striker, went to West Ham United for 17.5, 20 million potentially over time. He's a good striker, actually. It's a pretty solid signing for them. Not sure if he can get a lot of goals, but he's a solid signing nevertheless. Fernando, holding midfielder there for Arsenal, joined for 27 million. Victor Moses went to Napoli for 23 million. Antonio went to Southampton for 19.75, his second spell with the club. He joined us back on loan a long time ago. He actually helped us win the the Checker Trade Trophy, as it's called now. Let me see what else. Any other big news? Marega went to Man City for potentially 17 million. Yeah, big striker. Honestly, that's actually a pretty good deal. Honestly, he's a very talented striker. Doesn't look much technically, but physically, mentally, pretty sound player. Let's take a quick look at the league table. So Man United still currently are top of the table. Arsenal are catching them. They're only 1 point behind now. Chelsea are in third. Spurs in fourth. Man City in fifth. So Chelsea on the rise. Man City is slipping a little bit. How are Liverpool doing? They've rose a little bit now. They are 8th place in the table, and they could challenge for a Europa League spot, potentially Champions League if they keep the form going. Let's jump to the bottom of the table now. So Cardiff have only got 1 win since the last time we took a look. They beat, I think, Crystal Palace again. Did a double over Crystal Palace. Bit embarrassing for them. Southampton have moved up to 22 points now, so things are getting a bit better for the Saints. They are making a fight of it. Burnley have slipped into the bottom 3, though, only on goal difference. Huddersfield on the same points as they are. Let's take a quick look at the stats over here. Mr. Pierre-Emerick, as you can see, get himself 16 goals. Harry Kane 13. Eden Hazard has gone into the average rating, high marks now with Sanchez and Harry Kane just behind him. Anthony Knockaert get himself 10 assists so far this season, just ahead of Gundogan on 9. Man of the match award still goes to Harry Kane. Who did Liverpool hire? They hired Antonio Conte. That's a little bit controversial, isn't it? Yeah, very controversial. Conte now manager of Liverpool, but so far he's doing wonders for them. I wonder what kind of formation he's using. He must be doing 3 at the back. Yeah, he got Matip, Manolas, and Van Dijk, and he just signed, obviously, Steve Cook for a lot of money as well. Let's see Southampton. Who did they hire as their manager? Gerardo Martino. Not familiar with this guy at all. Let's take a quick look at his milestones. He was manager of Atlanta United, apparently. He was manager for Argentina for a couple of years as well. He was runners-up in the Copa America. So, yeah, obviously he's got a bit of a managerial history. He was a Barcelona player for, looks like, a very short period of time. Barcelona of Ecuador, of course. But, yeah, obviously, pretty experienced manager. Hopefully he can do well for them. We'll have to see. I wonder what tactics he's using, just out of interest. He is using 4-5-1 formation. So, yeah, okay. Not too bad. All right, so let's take a quick look, see if any other managers perhaps have left. Managerial movements. No, it looks pretty good. All right, so players apparently lost confidence is why Mark Hughes was fired. So that's a little bit... it's good that it gives the reason, though. I actually haven't used that screen before. So anyway, I wonder who else. Let's see. There's news, headlines. Trying to see if anyone else has lost their manager. Doesn't particularly look like it. All right, yeah. So you know what we'll do now is our final chapter of the simulation. We'll simulate to the end of the season and take a look if any of those new signings made an instant impact for their clubs. Obviously, as things stand, so that Cardiff are pretty much gone. They're relegated. So it's going between the I don't know, the bottom. What's it, from 14th to 19th? So you're looking, yeah, the bottom about seven teams, perhaps 8 teams. Leicester might slip in there too, as well as Fulham. So it's a bit of a struggle here at the bottom of the table, just like last season. And at the top, it's pretty much an open race right now between Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs. Man City have quite a bit of catching up to do, so I'll be surprised if they do that. But anyway, let's simulate the end of the season and take a look at things then. Alright, so here we are at the very end of the Premier League season. As you can see, Spurs fans, you can rejoice. You are crowned champions of the English Premier League. They beat out Manchester United by 2 points. Then Chelsea were quite a way behind them, 8 points there. Man City crept into Champions League contention there, 73. Arsenal then Europa, 72. Disappointing for Unai Emery as he misses out on Champions League spot. Everton got 6th place and they beat out their obviously arch rivals there, Liverpool, by a single point. But Conte did kind of right the ship there, obviously got in competing at the very least. At the bottom of the table, Cardiff, obviously we expect them to get relegated, and they did quite comfortably. Burnley then were also relegated. It's a bit surprising after they finished 7th last season in the Premier League. Watford also getting relegated at 38 points. Only 1 point above them, though, was Crystal Palace and Huddersfield and Southampton. That would have made a pretty epic end of the season clash, no doubt about it. In fact, let's go take out some of the results from that last one. Huddersfield got destroyed by Spurs on the way to the title. Oh, and Southampton getting a 2-2 draw at home against Manchester United. Man United actually getting a late equaliser there off. Ashley Young and Mertens were sent off respectively. So Southampton clawing out of the relegation candidacy and obviously stopping Man United win the league by the look of things. Very exciting end of season stuff. Let's see, Burnley can only draw 1-1 with Wolves. They were already relegated, I believe. And, yeah, I mean, crazy end of the season stuff here. Let's take a look at the manager movements real quick. Watford actually sacked their manager, Javi Gracia. And then Villa-Boas came in March. Unfortunately, couldn't do enough to save them from getting relegated. Let's take a quick look at the player stats real quick. Who are the top players of the league? Obviously, goal scores there. Harry Kane got himself 22 goals. Another impressive campaign for that. Olivier Giroud being a surprise, I guess, of the season. 19 goals for him in a Chelsea shirt. Newcomer on here, perhaps Florian Andone. Not too familiar with him. Got himself plenty of goals in Premier League. 15 goals in the league. That's pretty impressive for him. Didn't really know too much about this guy at all. Yarmolenko, good season for West Ham as well. 14 to his name. Most assists go to Anthony Knockaert. Impressive stuff in the winger. I mean, I actually rate this guy pretty highly in real life as well as in FM. But actually a pretty good signing. He's valued at 32 million. Feels like a lot of money for him, but he always seems to perform well. Any other surprises in there? Gundogan, Sanchez, Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko obviously had a beast of a season there. Let's take a look quickly at the new boys in the Premier League. So Wolves were the highest here. They finished with 9th place, so pretty impressive stuff there from Wolves on their return to the Premier League. Top goal scorer was Raul Jimenez. Got himself 12 goals. Diego Jota got himself 9 goals. Bonatini got himself 6. Costa 7. Assist, Jorge Martino, the veteran Portuguese international, had a really solid season 2 of 13 assists. Ruben Neves, I'm sure a player that's on a lot of people's radars this year in FM, got himself 10 assists, average rating of 7. The other new boys, obviously we know Cardiff went down. Goals are always going to be an issue for them. In fact, the top scorer only had 6 goals, and that was Kenneth Zohore. Who else? Who was it? They are Fulham. Obviously finished 14th, so good season for them overall. Luciano Vieto got himself 12 goals. Actually, he's a pretty good striker, to be honest with you. Some pretty impressive attributes and stats there. Andrea Schuler, a player that I really, really highly recommend. I kind of wish it worked out for him at Chelsea, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. Timothy Fonsu-Mensah also had a pretty good season by the look of things. Yeah. All right, so, yeah, I think that's about it. You know what, let's take a quick look at the Sky Bet Championship real quick. Looks like, let's take a look here. Sky Bet Championship, final, league table. All right, so West Brom won the championship, as you can see here. They bounced straight back into the Premier League. They beat out Stoke by 1 goal difference there. Stoke on 84 points, and then just 1 point behind them was Swansea City. So disappointing for Swansea fans, I'm sure. But West Brom fans rejoice. Boing boing baggy. They are the epitome of a yo-yo club, as you can see here. They had a brief period and now they're back to yo-yo. And again, Darren Moore doing the job. They're getting promoted straight away. Dwight Gale got himself 16 goals this season. James Morrison, very good season for the experienced Scottish midfielder. 12 goals, 14 assists. J. Rod got himself 11 goals as well. Take a quick look at the Stoke side real quick. See what's going on here. Bojan got himself 12. Motin got himself 10. 11. Phobie got himself 10. So, yeah, I mean, interesting stuff there. Relegated Rotherham, Bolton, and Wigan. We'll take a look at League One real quick. Let's see, stages. League table. All right, so Fleetwood, believe it or not, were promoted into the championship here. Sunderland got promoted at the first time of asking. And it's between Charlton and Luton for the remaining spot in the championship. Relegated Rochdale, Walsall, Wickham, and Accrington. Pompey, Wiley, the Scum, where do they finish? 10th place in the table. Coventry City finished 12th. Take out League 2 real quick. MK Dons promoted as champions quite clearly as well, of 98 points. Northampton and Swindon join them in League 1 next season, with Crewe Alexandra and Newport County getting relegated respectively. In the National League, take a look at the league table here. Chesterfield were promoted as champions, and then Barnet as well, with Braintree, Barrow, Havant, Waterlooville, and Maidenhead all getting relegated respectively. So that's pretty much it. Also, the end of the season here, we got some sackings. Burnley sacked Sean Dyche, not surprised there. Warnock was sacked as Cardiff City manager, again, not really a big surprise. And then Guardiola was also sacked as manager of Manchester City. That's a bit of a shocking move, really. Yeah, I mean, they had a bad season, finishing 4th, but they still got back in the Champions League, and I expected Guardiola to keep his job simply because of that. Favourites take over as Ancelotti, believe it or not, manager of Napoli. Marcelino, and then Julian Lopetegui. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm not even going to try anymore. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, it's a quick simulation. We need to test my green screen out. Some pretty interesting readings. Obviously, champions go to Spurs. Congratulations to all the Tottenham fans. I'm sure they'll hope in this obviously reflects what happens in real life. This is their championship winning side. Some really good impressive performances in there. Obviously, Harry Kane getting himself 31 goals and 14 assists. Eriksen had a really good season too with 17 goals. Eric Dyer got 10 assists, 57 starts. Bit of an Ironman performance from him this season. Dele Alli, 15 goals, 12 assists. So overall, good stuff. Good stuff there for Spurs. I'm sure they'll be very happy and looking forward to next season. Obviously, it'd be a big ask for them to reflect to do this in real life. But you never know. Football does dish out some strange things. Man United finished in second place. Always disappointed there to not beat Southampton on the final day. If they beat Southampton, then, well, I mean, depending on how they beat them by, they might have won the league. But regardless, too close to call at the end there. But thanks so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to leave a like on it. If you want to see more videos by me in the future, please hit subscribe, turn notifications on. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next part. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.